This is Ousman Rahman. Ousman is the CEO and founder of Doorstep Express. DEX is Gambia's first local courier service, started in 2016. When he was starting out, Ousman only had a bike and $200 in his account. But fast forward to 2022, he does not only deliver locally, he also delivers international. And his 10-year goal is to be in 30 different cities.
My father was a very strict person, so he used to work for the Gambia Bureau of Statistics. Interestingly, he was a messenger as well, so he used to handle the deliveries and he would take it to the post office and stuff like that. So as a kid, the only time I had access to leave my house, because I live in an Aku setting, so normally we're not always allowed to leave the house. The only time I get to leave is during weekends, when my dad would give me a list of items to buy at the supermarket or at the pharmacy or the market. So these are always exciting times, because those are the times that I would leave house and I wouldn't really come back early, because then I get to buy stuff and then I'll find my way to keep some of the change, because I would increase some of the prices to ensure that I keep something in my pocket. But little did I know that this is something that I'll end up doing later on in life. So I never really envisioned myself as an entrepreneur. So fast forward 2017, I was working for a company called Africa. It got to a point where I was sick and I needed my medication but couldn't get it. So a friend of mine actually wanted to help me, buy the medication, but at a cost. So instantly at that moment, something happened and something clicked. I'm like, wow, this could be a business. In fact, I used to do this. My dad would always give me a list of items to buy, and then I'll always keep the change. So from that moment, everything made sense. I did a little bit of research and about how this could work in the Gambia. I felt that I realized it's a need in the Gambia. So the turning point for me was when an entrepreneur visited the startup incubator for a networking event. So he wanted everybody to share their ideas regarding the business ideas they have. So I was reluctant to share mine until one of my friends shared the idea I have, because I already shared it with some of my friends. So when he shared the idea, the entrepreneur was, wow, that could really work, and his name is Muhammad Tal, so he was like, this could really work, and you have a huge market. So he asked the whole room, and how many of you would need this service? Almost everybody in that room raised their hand, and from that point I believe that this could be something that could really happen. So I spoke to him afterwards, and he was like, I told him, I don't have money to start this and stuff like that. He told me, you know what, you don't need money, man. All you need is, you have foot, right? You have use a bicycle, use anything. If this is something you're passionate about, do it. Don't let anything hold you back. So after a couple of months, I quit my job, and then I rode my bicycle. When I was quitting my job, actually, the interesting bit was I had only $200 in my account, and I was a bit scared to send my resignation letter. I was trying to wait for the end of the month. So mistakenly, I sent it. It was in the draft in my email, so mistakenly, I sent it. My boss received it and said, okay, you'll stay 1 month and then do a transition and then, hand over to the next person who's coming. And she was really supportive during that period. So, but I had only $200 then. So I would ride my bicycle from Banjul every day to the startup incubator. Every day I would ride my bicycle, but I'll take pictures of it and tell people that something is cooking up, delivery service. So I received a lot of feedback most especially from people in the diaspora, telling me how this could really transform, the Gambian economy. I should go ahead and do it. So it was really interesting. And in February 2017, we started getting clients. I attended another networking event actually, where we got our first client, Insys Global, a first corporate client actually. Sidi Bensouda. I met Sidi at at the networking event, and I approached him regarding what we are trying to do, and he told me, you know what, are you sure this is something that you really, want to do? I'm like, yeah. And then he gave me his card to visit him at the office. So I went to his office, but I went there prepared. I drafted a proposal on what we really wanted. So when I got there, he told me, do you have a proposal? Can you write me one and then send it to us? I told him, you know what, I have one already. So maybe you can have a look at it. So he looked at it and he said, you know what, this is interesting. So we would offer you, a 6 months contract. That was huge, but for me, I didn't, sound too exciting, but then inside of me, I was really excited because this was something huge. This was the first contract, somebody who believed that this could really work. So from then onwards, I never really looked back. We started delivering their documents using bicycles every day. I would deliver using bicycles, and that.
So you were delivering it yourself?
Yeah, I was delivering myself. I would pick up every day from city, and sometimes I'll get random calls here and there. And I just want to say one thing as well. One thing that really helped me through that process also, the friends I had, at that point, I had my logo was done by a friend, and I didn't actually pay for it. 2 of my friends were competing to do my logo. So those were exciting times as well. Most of these people really helped me during that period, and I'm really grateful to them. And wherever they are, thank you very much, man. So one thing I believe in is whatever you do, you need to first believe in it. So after doing a bit of research here and similar companies abroad, I had the belief that this is something I was doing when I was a kid, so I believed that it was going to work. I'll give you an example. We all believe in God. We never really saw God, right? But we all have the belief that there's a God up there. So that's the same idea. That's the same mentality I went with. I believed that this is going to work. This was going to work. So I just was following my instincts, I made a lot of mistakes in the process, but I learned from them quickly. So that's how it all started. That belief was what really kept me going, and it brought us to where we are today.
All right.
Yeah. Early days we struggled with getting finances to actually get bikes and stuff like that. So money was a problem early days, and I also lacked the knowledge at the time. So what I did to cope those challenges was I attended a lot of entrepreneurship trainings to boost my knowledge on entrepreneurship and skills as well. So at the same time, also finance-wise, my family thought I was crazy when I quit my job. Actually, they never really believed in the whole process. It was the worst time of my life, because anytime I go home, I feel emotional talking about this, but it was rains of insults. You're no good, man. This is crazy. Why would you quit your job to do something like this? They were even ashamed to talk about what I do actually. So, but those were all challenges, but I kept going. You know what I mean? So financially, how I coped some of the challenges were I competed in pitching competitions. I won the Busy Gambia pitching competition in April 2017. That was around 25,000 Dalasis. It got me a scooter. A bad scooter, actually, a second-hand one that kept breaking down over and over. So, but I learned from that as well. So afterwards, I won the Youth Connect pitching competition again, 50,000 Dalasis, and then financially, that was how I was trying to, those were means that I was using to actually, cope that challenge. I was always prepared to expose myself and put myself out there and compete and then win. So I won the TAF as well. I was the first runner-up of the TAF startup competition. That was 500,000 Dalasis in 2019. So these were ways that actually helped. But mind you, behind all that were a lot of preparations, a lot of work done behind the scenes to ensure that those things were realized. Some of the current challenges is human resource, getting the right people in the right place to ensure that they execute the right job. because we've hired more than 70 youths have passed through here over the course of 5 years. Some came here, did an incredible job. Some, did very bad. Some would try different means to sabotage the business. Even clients would do that. So you have to be on top of your game and be ruthless to ensure that these things are caught. So navigation is also a major problem because mostly when we try to locate clients, we struggle a lot. We waste a lot of credit. 1, 2, sometimes where they are, it's a bit. There are no landmarks to ensure that you get to the client. So, I'm now seeing that there are Google Plus codes. KMC have introduced the Google Plus codes in most of the households. That could really help in trying to change that. But navigation is a big problem, and most clients are not technologically literate to use Google location. But as time goes on, this could change. But in other countries, this has really helped reshape or shape the logistic industry, and I feel that could really help Gambia if we embrace it.
Yeah.
I think one, it has to be internet technology, because for deliveries to really work in most other countries where it has really worked, technology has played a key role in that. We spend a lot on data. Internet is very expensive in the Gambia. That has cost a lot. There are no payment systems, so clients would always use cash transfers. So we have to pay. I'll give you an example. If we have to deliver to a restaurant, the client calls the restaurant and then place the order. So we go to the restaurant, pay for the order, pick up the food, take it to the client, right? And then the client refunds the food and pay the delivery fee. That's a lot of process, right? Yeah. That could be mitigated in many ways. But again, also, we all of us are a bit reluctant to come up with an application, because with that you don't know, there are different ways that could go wrong given the infrastructure, technology wise. However, I'm glad to say that we're now partnering with Chopsa, which is an app that delivers food, and it has really been exciting as well. We have seen a lot that has clients are using it and to order food, and that has been quite exciting. So hopefully we might see a change if we embrace technology, and if the environment is conducive for that. People are paying online like in other countries. These things would really help in ensuring that this industry moves to the next level. Achievements, I feel we've created, like I said, over 70 youths have passed through here. That's a great achievement in every sense. We have impacted the lives of so many people. We've also, won multiple pitching competitions as well. That has also helped the company in many ways. So we also creating a lot of values for businesses who sell online to ensure that they maximize their productivity as well as their income, because most people, the whole process of using the deliveries to create convenience, but and also it changes a lot in helping you maximize your profits. So being the first logistic delivery company in the Gambia, I think that's a great achievement, and we have paved the way for so many other delivery companies that have really joined us in this journey as well. So that's a huge achievement. I have some people who have really worked here in the past are now running their own delivery businesses. So we've showed them the way. We've made them believe that this is possible here in the Gambia, and for me that's the biggest achievement, and I'm really I can't wait to see where this ends up. For me it's just great. I'll give you an example. We used to have this intern called Jarieto. She's the founder of Yonima. So she started with us as an intern. Now she runs her own delivery company called Yonima. So we feel that we've contributed to that. We've contributed to ensuring that other people have taken the initiative and made things happen. And there are other people who have passed through here and now doing independently their own delivery, and we're proud of them. We're proud of what they're doing as well. So yeah, that's a great achievement. So we have a 10-year goal to be in 30 cities. 30 cities in the next 10 years. So for now, our vision is to be an international express company, in Africa. But again, the goal for the next 10 years is to be in 30 cities. In the process, create over 1,000 jobs. So we're working towards that. Currently, we're more focused in Gambia, but again, we also have penetrated Senegal. We're doing Banjul to Dakar delivery. So that's one step closer to ensuring that we understand the market there and how we can expand to those countries as well. We're currently trying to look at other regions as well. We're looking at Birkama hopefully very soon. From here to May, we might have an outlet in Birkama and in other regions as well. So we're looking at how to ensure that this works in how can we replicate what we already doing here in different cities, in different regions as well. So one thing I'll tell young Gambians is you don't have to be an entrepreneur if you don't really want to. It has to be from within, right? So you can get a job, it's more of an easy ride, but if you really want to go on this journey, it's a very hard one. It requires a lot of sacrifice. You need to sacrifice a lot. You need to have a vision. You need to know where you're going. I think that's key. But first, believe in that vision. If you don't believe in it, nobody would, So you need to believe in that vision, and also you need to be passionate about what you're doing. Without passion, forget it, man. I would have, quit this job, quit what I'm doing without passion. But the passion keeps me going, keeps, this company alive, because, I'm really passionate about this, So passion is key. Also, consistency. If you're not consistent, I see a lot of young Gambians start dozens of businesses at the same time. It doesn't work that way. You can run a dozen career, no doubt, but make sure you're known for one thing. Make it work. Make that thing work first. Before you think of other things, make one thing work. Muhammad Jah made one thing work, and then, started adding other businesses to it. Likewise, staff and all these top businesses. Start with one, make it work, be known for it, and then, be the master in that, and then start putting in other businesses, invest in other businesses if you could. So it can get really hard sometimes. And there would come a time you will want to give up. Nothing would work. Everything would crumble. And it got to a point for me when I think around 2018 or so, I was getting a lot of pressure from home, and I really wanted to quit. Things were not working, so I packed everything, and said, this is my last week here. During that time, my dad, spoke to the Minister of Finance, who, invited me to his office and wanted to, help me get a job at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. So when I went to visit him, and reluctantly, but at that point I was a bit discouraged, and he asked me to submit some of my documents, and then he could process it and ensure that I get a job. So I really wanted to quit at that point. But when I went back to the office and sat with I packed all my stuff, and a friend of mine again came and told me, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "You know what? This is not working, man. I just want to quit." And he told me, "You know what? Are you crazy? Think about all the things that made you do this. Think about where you're coming from." So having thought of all that, man, I felt that it would be too cheap, man. The whole purpose would be defeated if I had quit at that point. So when you're discouraged, think about the things that made you start, and you'll definitely forge ahead, man.
It's gonna be hard, it's gonna be tough, sometimes you'll feel like giving up, but always keep your head up and remember why you started in the first place. Powerful advice, man. Powerful advice. But the part where he says, start with one thing and make that work, I feel like he was talking to me directly, because man is everywhere trying to do everything. But I guess, people are different. Some people get bored easily. Once they start working on something and they no longer find it interesting, they go on to start another thing and another thing and another thing. And before you realize it, they have like 10 different things going on. And even though people might say like, this guy is doing great, he's doing good. But deep down, they'll feel like, they haven't done a thing. And then there are people that are the total opposite of this. They stick to one thing through thick and thin, exciting or not. Law on for one rek boy. And these people are the true superhumans. They are only known for one thing and they stuck to that and made it work. But for some of us, we haven't still found that thing yet, so what do? Never settle. Keep on trying out different things, never settle. But once you do find that thing, definitely stick to it and make it work. And the other thing is, when he was starting out, there was not any other local delivery service company here to, seek inspiration from or study them and find their weak points and capitalize on that and use it as a competitive advantage. No, there was none. So he was basically starting from scratch. He took a huge risk because he saw that it was working in other countries and he tried it here and it worked. And now you have all these different delivery companies here. On the other hand, there are businesses you can start here that won't require you to create business models or anything like that. They are called franchise business. All you have to do is pay the franchisor a fee and you can establish a business under their trade names and use their business systems. One good example is KFC. There's no KFC restaurant here in Gambia, at least I haven't seen one. So if you have money, all you have to do is pay KFC a certain amount and you can establish it here in the Gambia. Because they are a very successful brand, they are all around the world. It might not necessarily be KFC. Sir. I just use them as an example. You don't even have to go far, sir. You can start with Senegal. There are a lot of successful businesses there that are quite profitable but have not reached here yet. So, there's a way you can have them here and they will be profitable. But that is if you have the money. If you don't have the money and you see a profitable business out there that you want to start here in the Gambia, you'll have to do like Ousman here. Start with what you have. Start with your bike and $200, Start with that and then grow it. So that's it for this video. As always, like, share and subscribe to my YouTube channel for more content. Peace.